Good morning, everyone. Today we will learn more about education. On 15th August 1947, India have attained independence from British domination. This gave the people of the country the first and fullest opportunity to mold their education policy according to the needs of the nation in the fasting changing times. But this opportunity was not free from heavy responsibilities that lay ahead for reorienting the entire system of education. It focused on enabling the coming generation to develop their natural facilities, may also enable them to rebuild a new India. The content of learning, which was from the very beginning of the British era, focused on general and theoretical, and importance is given to practical basis. As our country need a large amount of technicians, engineers, doctors, scientists, and any other skilled worker who could impart a new shape to various things in the developing economy of the country. So, gradually, higher education was given more importance as it developed skills necessary for his or her job. A higher education allows you to pursue a career that interests and inspires you. When you have any freedom to choose your career, you are more likely to enjoy it. So today we are going to study about higher education in post-independence era. After independence, 1948, the central government appointed the University Education Commission, whose chairman was Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Now we will watch a small video about Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who was the chairman of University Education Commission.
Short biography of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan was born on 5th September 1888 at a village near Tirutani, India. His father's name was Sarvapalli Veeraswamy and his mother's name was Sitamma. He was married to Siva Kamu. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan was a staunch believer of education and was the well-known diplomat, scholar and ideal teacher. He was also a great philosopher and also a teacher. He was also a great freedom fighter. He had a deep love for the profession of teaching. When India became independent in 1947, Radhakrishnan was elected as the first Vice President of India in 1952. He was elected as the second President of India after Dr. Rajendra Prasad. He died on 17 April 1975. In India, Teachers' Day is celebrated on 5th September each year. It is the birth date of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Teachers' Day is celebrated as a mark of tribute to the contribution made by teachers to the society. On this day, teachers selected from schools and colleges are invited by the President of India and honored by giving a certificate of recognition along with some cash prize. The award given by the President is called the National Award for Teachers, which is a great honor to the humble teachers.
This was a short biography of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, and the University Education Commission accepted the 5-year plans. It began to sanction grants to the universities on behalf of the government. It also undertake the responsibility of planning university education by setting syllabus and giving primary importance to the national need through education and establishing University Development Council and Center for Advanced Studies such as post-graduation. It also provided facilities to telecast countrywide classroom in Doordarshan on behalf of the Commission. Now we will learn more about NCERT, which means National Council of Educational and Research and Training. NCERT body was established in Delhi on 1st of September 1961. Its main objective is to help the central government in the matter of school education by implementing educational schemes. The key objective of NCERT are: first, to administer basic childhood education; second, to encourage education of girl child; third, to promote value education; fourth, to work for education of students with special need, which includes lower caste children and physically challenged; fifth, to implement a national framework curriculum; sixth, to provide vocational education which prepares students for work in a specific trade, craft as a technician or in professional occasion such as engineering, nursing, law. Vocational education is sometimes referred as career education or technical education. Seventh, to assess, examine and reform at the information technology education, where IT means information technology play a major role in education. Eighth, to bring universalization of fundamental education, which means to make education available to all children. Ninth, to produce a teaching and learning experience as an effective method, so to motivate students and engage all the children in learning, and every student is capable of achieving success. 10th, to improve thought and attention of the learner, as child attention is very important factor in the learning process. Example, if teacher asks question, one of the child to answer and student answer correctly, gives a positive response that the child have understood, and those who are not paying will also pay attention, that fear have been developed, because if teacher catches me to answer, then I should able to answer for this. He or she have to pay attention, right? 11, to advance teacher education. NCERT was given the responsibility of educational research and development, training, conducting educational program and restructuring of school curriculum and textbook. It has played a central role in designing school curricula and textbook with the cooperation of Central Board of Secondary Education. We can say CBSE. Now we will learn about SCERT. SCERT was established in all states on the line of the NCERT. The full form of SCERT is State Council of Educational Research and Training. In Maharashtra, we have Maharashtra State Council of Educational Research and Training was established in Pune in 1984. We can see this logo in each and every textbook, which say Maharashtra State Bureau of Textbook Production and Curriculum Research, Pune. This institute performs various functions such as improving the standard of primary education, in service training of teachers, training in the area of syllabi and evaluation, and providing vocational guidance. It also brings periodical called Jeevan Shikshan. Now we will learn about National Policy on Education 1986. The necessity of national policy on education cannot be overemphasized, as it is related to the essential development of our country. It was in 1968 for the first time that a national policy on education was formulated for preparing suitable hands for shouldering responsibilities in various fields of our national reconstructions. So, number of programs were included in this policy. First, free and compulsory education. Second, development and protection of all Indian languages. When a national language dies or any language dies out, future generation lose a vital part of their culture that is necessary to completely understand it. This makes language a vulnerable aspect of cultural heritage and it becomes especially important to preserve it. Third, equality of educational opportunities. It means education for all, irrespective of caste, religion, gender, etc. Fourth, national service schemes. The national service schemes identifies the needs and problem of the community and involve themselves in problem solving exercise by practicing national integration and social harmony. Fifth, science education and research. Science play an important role in research as research develop curiosity in the minds of the students. Sixth, education in agriculture and industries, which teaches students about agriculture, natural resources and land management. Agriculture education is primarily undertaken to prepare students for employment in the agriculture sector. So in India, there are various agriculture courses such as BSc in agriculture. BSc means Bachelor in Science. BSc in genetic plant breeding. BSc in soil and water management. Seventh, part-time education and correspondence curriculum. This provides opportunity to attend classes after their working hours. We can say this as distance education. Eighth, adult education. Adult education aims at extending education option to those adults who have lost opportunity and have crossed the age of formal education, but now feel a need for learning of any type, such as basic education, vocational education, etc. Ninth, sports and games. Sports and games are very important, as sports and games cannot be treated as an optional subject. It has to be accepted as a part of education, as sports help students to relax and reduce anxiety. Besides just being fun, sport can help you to perform better in schools. On April 20, 1986, a new education policy was placed before the Indian Parliament for consideration and approval. It was a result of renewed priority assigned to education by the government of late Sri Rajiv Gandhi. The policy had following objectives. First, occasional of education, particularly at secondary stage of education. The curriculum should be job oriented. Second, to awaken people about scientific and technological development and to make students at the various stage of education aware of the same in order they may utilize them in their future life. Third, to encourage the governmental and non-governmental efforts for wiping out illiteracy and to emphasize the necessity of adult education, formal education and open schools. Now we will learn about use of satellites to promote education in rural areas. In 1975, India met with a success in its attempt to use a satellite for the purpose of education. Eknath Chitnis, a scientist with ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, played an important role in SITE. SITE, the full form of SITE is Satellite Instructional Television Experiment, was undertaken for educational purpose under the leadership of the Space Application Center at Ahmedabad. The concept of satellite education came out of this experiment where Americans have helped India in this program. The program helped to make provision for good quality of education in rural areas. Indira Gandhi National Open University. Indira Gandhi National Open University was established with the objective that socially disadvantaged people should get educational facilities provided by IGNOU. IGNOU means Indira Gandhi National Open University, we can say as IGNOU. There are various individuals who are not in position to follow full-time education in schools or colleges due to lack of money. Even many people from socially backward families, thus they need to earn to live their living. IGNOU provide a wonderful scope for them so that they can easily carry on with their education during the off time. In 1974, the government appointed a committee under the chairmanship of P. Parthasarathi. An open university took shape on 20 September 1985. It was named after Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi was the first woman Prime Minister of India. Today, IGNOU is known as one of the largest universities in the world. IGNOU have covered large section of population in different corners of the world. IGNOU provide facilities as those who are unable to get college education in the formal are given concession in eligibility criteria, age or other condition for admission into this university. So in 1990, the IGNOU started an audiovisual distanced program through Akashvani and Doordarshan. Thus, we have learnt about higher education, national policy on education and IGNOU. Now we will do a small summary of what we did today. So we did higher education. So after independence in 1948, the central government appointed the University Education Commission, whose chairman was Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Then we did NCERT, which means National Council of Educational Research and Training. So NCERT body was established in Delhi on 1st of September 1961. Its main objective is to help central government in the matters of school education by implementing education schemes. So there are key objectives of NCERT are to administer basic childhood education, to encourage education of a girl child, to promote value education, to work for education of students with special needs, to implement a national framework curriculum, to provide vocational education, to assess and examine and reform information technology education, to produce a teaching and learning experience, to improve thought and attention of learners, and to advance teacher education. So these are the key objectives of NCERT. Then we did SCERT, which means State Council of Educational Research and Training. In Maharashtra, we have Maharashtra State Council of Educational Research and Training, was established in 1984. Then we did National Policy on Education. So there were special program and special policies framed by National Policy of Education 1986. They are free and compulsory education. Second, development and protection of all the Indian language. Third, equality of educational opportunities. Fourth, national service schemes. Fifth, science education and research. Sixth, education in agriculture and industries. Seventh, part-time education and correspondence curriculum. Eighth, adult education. Ninth, sports and games. These were the pointers of National Education Policy of 1986. Then we did use of satellite to promote education. So in 1975, India met with a success in its attempt to use a satellite for the purpose of education. So Eknath Chitnis, a scientist with ISRO, played an important role. The program helped to make provision for good quality education in rural areas. Then we did Indira Gandhi National Open University, which is also called IGNOU, was established with the objective that socially disadvantaged people should get educational facilities. There are many individuals who are not in position to follow full-time education in schools or colleges due to lack of money. Even many people are from socially backward families have opportunity to educate themselves. Thus, they need to earn to live the living. So, IGNOU provide a wonderful scope for them so that they can easily carry on with their education during the off time. Summary of higher education, NCERT, SCERT, National Policy on Education 1986. Then we covered use of satellite and IGNOU. So based on these, I would like to ask some questions. 1. Who was the chairman of University Education Commission? The chairman of University Education Commission was Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. Question number 2. What were the objectives of NCERT? The objectives of NCERT are to administer basic childhood education, to encourage education of girl child, to promote value education, to work for education of students with special need, to implement a national framework curriculum, to provide vocational education, to assess or examine and reform information technology education, to produce a teaching learning experience, to improve thought and attention of learner, to advance teacher education. So these are the objectives of NCERT. Question number 3. What were the objectives of Indira Gandhi National Open University? The advantage of Indira Gandhi National Open University is that socially disadvantaged people get education facilities, and there are many individuals who are not in position to follow full-time education in school or colleges due to lack of money. So, IGNOU provide facility to educate themselves, as during the off time they can educate themselves and at the same time they can work for their family. So these are the advantage given by Indira Gandhi National Open University. Now I would like to ask one application question. As I said that IGNOU provide distance learning opportunities. Same way, you too have some extent of online distance learning. What is your experience of online learning?